In 2019, Netflix tried to muscle in on the whole stalker obsession genre with this absolute gem. Watched by over 40 million people in the 3 months following its release, this is Secret Obsession. I'm Jay Harangue and I've wasted hours of my life watching terrible films.
You should subscribe.
This is Jennifer and she's the main character.
Hi.
The film starts with her running away from an attacker until she's eventually accidentally run over. She's taken to a hospital where all the nurses are lifetime actors and her injuries are pretty severe, to the point where her life flashes before her eyes. Well, only the moments that are going to be relevant to the plot, but let's just say it's her whole life. And here comes Jennifer's husband, Russell Williams. He's not allowed in the operating room.
Obviously.
But later, he's told it's possible that Jennifer won't remember anything.
What?
That's right, this is an amnesia story.
Really?
Really?
After hanging around for ages, he's brought into the recovery room to see Jennifer. But hang on, who's this shady character? Ooh. Cut to Detective Frank Paige, who's buying a birthday present for his daughter. He's summoned to the hospital to speak to Russell about the accident.
Have you been having problems at home, you and Jennifer?
Russell's like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, I'm wondering why your wife was at a rest area.
Alone, in the middle of the night.
Russell's like, well, I don't know. And Detective Paige is like, well, her car's missing too, and I'm gonna find it.
I would love to talk to your wife when she's able.
When Detective Paige gets home, we see him wrapping his daughter's birthday present. But his daughter went missing years ago, so this will be going in the cupboard with the gifts he's bought for her last few birthdays. Back at the hospital, Jennifer has woken up. For plot purposes, she's retained her semantic memory.
What do you mean?
That's stuff like her name and her family, but nothing that would ruin the film.
Good?
Does my wife know who I am or not?
No.
How did I get here?
You were in an accident. You hit your head. You don't remember me, do you?
Meanwhile, Detective Paige is interviewing the driver who hit Jennifer.
It was an accident.
I know.
But he hasn't brought him in to talk about that. He asked him if he saw any other cars around, and the driver says he saw a white pickup truck.
Did you see where the truck went?
It was already gone by the time the ambulance arrived.
Detective Paige goes to his boss, Captain Fitzpatrick, and tells him that this was more than just an accident. But Captain Fitzpatrick's like, whatever, Frank, you're only doing this because your daughter went missing.
Scratches and bruises on her wrists. They were defensive wounds.
But he's like, come on, it was just an accident.
Really?
Yeah, he's like the mayor from Jaws, who refused to close the beaches for plot purposes.
I'm not the beach kind of guy.
Luckily, another witness has come forward, Mr. Khan. That's right, he's the guy who was hanging around at the hospital earlier. Back at the hospital, Russell is reminding Jennifer of how they met at work and shows her a photo album. Jennifer's like, have you told my parents where I am? And Russell's like, no, they died in a fire. So Jennifer cries. Later, Russell tries to help Jennifer with her memory by playing Snap, or Pairs as you might call it. She's getting pretty good in a wheelchair, and she can eat food, so it's time for her to go home. Russell and Jennifer live in this huge house in the middle of nowhere.
I still can't believe this is really our house.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Nearest neighbor's over a mile away.
That's ideal. The house is really nice. It's got a huge log fire, a pool, and lots of photos around of Russell and Jennifer. While Russell is cooking, he gets a call from Detective Paige, who tells him he'd like to see Jennifer tomorrow around 11 o'clock. Russell's like, we've only just got home. But Detective Paige says it's really important, so Russell reluctantly agrees.
Good. See you then.
Later over dinner, Jennifer asks who was on the phone, and he's like, oh, just someone from work. Jennifer's like, speaking of work, when do I have to go back? And he's like, you don't. You quit before the accident.
Really?
Yeah.
Jennifer's like, do I have any friends? I've not heard from anyone. And he's like, yeah, you've got loads of friends. They've just been calling me because you lost your phone. But don't worry, I'll get you a new one. Later that night, we see Mr. Khan driving home. But what's Russell doing there? Oh, right, he's killing him. Then brings the body back to the house. Jennifer wakes up in the middle of the night and sees Russell digging in the backyard. Then in the morning, she sees what's clearly a body buried out there. But she's more interested in freshly squeezed orange juice to give it much thought.
Come again?
Of course, Russell and Jennifer haven't shown up for their 11 o'clock appointment with Detective Paige, and when he tries to call Russell, there's no answer. He does some digging and finds out there's no Russell Williams listed in the county. So he goes back to the hospital and gets the address Russell gave them. Nurse Facelift tells him that since they left the hospital, she's been unable to get hold of Russell or Jennifer either. While that's going on, Jennifer is at home looking at old photos of her and Russell, and she sees this one where in the mirror, the back of Russell's head doesn't match the front.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is a bit weird. So she wants to take a closer look at the wedding photo by the front door. But uh-oh, that's downstairs. Oh, it's okay, she's fine. She grabs the photo and thinks, could this be photoshopped? I mean, come on. She tries to get into his laptop but doesn't know the password. No, he's home. He's like, oh, well done, you got down the stairs. And she's like, yeah, I was just having a look around. He gives her a new phone, but it's got no signal.
Welcome to the mountains.
Meanwhile, Detective Paige arrives at the address Russell gave the hospital, and nobody there's even heard of him or Jennifer.
Looks like Russell Williams gave the hospital the wrong address.
What?
He calls the office and he's like, how did the hospital know who Jennifer was? And he's told that her husband identified her. That night, an increasingly suspicious Jennifer is about to have sex with Russell, despite seeing him bury a body in the backyard and thinking he might have photoshopped their wedding photos. But she gets a flashback of the night she was attacked and stops herself. Russell gets really angry and he's like, come on, Jennifer, it's been a few days now. Just do it. But she's like, no.
No, it's too weird. I'm not ready.
So Russell goes downstairs and watches her fall asleep via a hidden camera on his laptop. Although we don't see Russell knocking one out in his office, it's certainly implied. Meanwhile, Detective Paige calls Nurse Facelift and asks for the CCTV footage from the night Jennifer was admitted. When he watches it, he sees Russell arriving in a white pickup truck.
Son of a bitch.
He finds out that Jennifer's maiden name was Alan and that her parents live in San Jose, so he's going to see them now. And oh look, they're dead. The next day, Russell is off to buy groceries, and he's locked Jennifer in the bedroom, so Jennifer goes for a hairpin. Hang on, is that the same wedding photo as the one downstairs? It is! Why did she bother risking her life going down the deadly stairs yesterday to look at it? Oh yeah, that's right, because this is shit. Anyway, Jennifer manages to escape the bedroom, descend the deadly stairs, get onto Russell's laptop and try to guess his password. Oh right, it's Jennifer.
Of course.
And here's what she was looking for. Photos of her with her husband, the real Russell Williams, before fake Russell cut and pasted his head onto them. So who is fake Russell? Well, Detective Paige has found out that his real name is Ryan Garrity, who had a crush on Jennifer at work and was annoyed when she married someone else from the office. So he killed the real Russell and attacked Jennifer. I can only assume he got really lucky when she got hit by a car and lost her memory. That way, all he needed to do was kill her parents, take her to a place with no cell service, pretend to be her husband, and live happily ever after.
Well, that makes sense.
As Jennifer can't use her phone, she tries to go online, but there's no internet. Apparently, fake Russell didn't have any scissors, so he chewed through the cable. And oh no, he's on his way back from the store, so Jennifer runs out to hide in the garden. Oh, hi, Mr. Khan. By the way, we never find out who Mr. Khan was. Why was he hanging around the hospital? No idea. But moving on, fake Russell takes Jennifer up to the bedroom and ties one of her ankles to the bed so he can go shopping for body disposal equipment. But Nurse Facelift is in the parking lot. She's like, where's Jennifer? And he's like, why don't you piss off? And drives away. So she calls Detective Paige. Back at home, instead of leaning forward and using her two free hands to untie herself, Jennifer uses the bed frame and brute force to free her ankle from fake Russell's rubbish restraint. Then it's hairpin the door down the deadly stairs and into the kitchen, where she uses this electric tape to fix her ankle. She tries to get away in the car, but the keys aren't in there. Her old phone is there, and oh no, fake Russell's back. So Jennifer hides in the back seat, inches away from her husband, who's dead in the boot.
Ew.
When fake Russell closes the garage door, Jennifer runs back in the house, up the deadly stairs, and gets back into bed. That's right, get a blanket over that ankle. When fake Russell comes in, he's like, what's under that blanket? Yeah, don't bother lifting it the whole way up. Someone's at the door. Detective Paige. Fake Russell opens the gate, and this allows Detective Paige to find the white pickup truck. Jennifer has managed to get down the deadly stairs once more and tells Detective Paige to come in through the side door. But oh no! Fake Russell grabs Jennifer and puts her back in bed. He doesn't need to tie her up, because she promised she'd stay there this time.
Right.
While he's downstairs putting Detective Paige in the freezer, Jennifer watches some videos on her phone of her with her real husband. She remembers everything now, and she's really sad. But oh no, fake Russell is back with some rope. She's like, why are you doing this? And he explains that he spent years at work getting to know her, only for the real Russell to swoop in and marry her. Oh good, Detective Paige has woken up. Upstairs, Jennifer has done the whole, actually, Russell, I've seen the light, I love you thing. So he goes downstairs to get her a drink, allowing her to burn the rope with a lighter we saw earlier in the film, but I neglected to mention, yeah. When fake Russell comes back upstairs, Jennifer is nowhere to be seen. So it's back down the deadly stairs. Oh, it's okay, she's fine. As she runs into the kitchen, fake Russell has woken up and is chasing her. But Detective Paige has managed to escape the freezer. Jennifer runs out to the woods to hide, and as fake Russell follows her, she throws a rock to distract him. She tries to hit him over the head with this log, but he grabs it and sends her tumbling down the hill into the road. Fake Russell has had enough of all this now. Then there's this fight between fake Russell and Detective Paige that goes on and on and on.
On and 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 on.
So he's dead.
Good.
3 months later, and we see that Detective Paige has finally eBayed all the toys he's been wasting his money on for years. As for Jennifer, well, her parents and husband are dead, so she moves to San Jose. And that's the end of the film, so until next time. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and please consider joining my Patreon. There's a link in the description. Thank you.